Good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State government to prioritize merit-based leadership, strategic teacher recruitment to elevate education standards. Nigerian Copyright Commission urges broadcasters others to obtain proper licenses to curb digital piracy. On the foreign scene, Uganda announces end of latest Ebola outbreak. And in sports, Nigeria Football Federation reads Riot Act to corrupt referees. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State government is embarking on a significant transformation of its post-primary and technical education sectors, prioritizing meritocracy in leadership and appointment, and strategically recruiting qualified teachers in core subjects. Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Tolani Ali Balogun, who stated this at 2025 ministerial press briefing held at the Bagauda Kauto Press Center, underscored the governor's unwavering commitment to educational excellence. Ali Balogun emphasized that a key pillar of the initiative is a decisive shift towards a merit-based system for the appointment of principals and vice principals. He stated that TESCOM has moved away from traditional practices and has commenced the implementation of rigorous evaluation processes to ensure that only the most capable and deserving educators assume leadership roles. The Commissioner also announced a targeted and rigorous recruitment drive aimed at securing highly qualified teachers in critical science, technology, English, arts, and mathematics STEAM subjects. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, has debunked rumors suggesting that it posts candidates to exam centers outside the towns they selected. JAM's spokesperson, Fabian Benjamin, emphasized that the board prioritizes candidates' convenience, ensuring that their examination locations align with their preferences among listed options. Benjamin stressed that candidates retain the right to choose their exam towns, and JAM strictly adheres to those choices when making center assignments. He advised candidates against harboring superstitious and baseless dreams of reaping where they have not sown. The Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency, LASPAC, has continued to play a pivotal role in the environmental transformation of Lagos through strategic landscaping, beautification, and tree planting initiatives across the state. Commissioner for the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, stated this during the ongoing ministerial press briefing in Alausa, Ikeja. According to Wahab, LASPAC has reclaimed and beautified several public spaces previously plagued by illegal trading and environmental violations. He reaffirmed the state government's commitment to sustainable urban development and creating a cleaner, greener Lagos for all residents. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has ordered a clampdown on unregistered hospitals and quack medical personnel operating within the territory. Wike issued the directive following the death of a 35-year-old pregnant woman, Chekobe Chinagorom, after a cesarean section at a private unregistered facility located in Durumi, Abuja. He described the incident as unfortunate, stressing that despite the free registration of pregnant women into the Federal Capital Territory Health Insurance Scheme, many still patronize unsafe health facilities. Wike warned that anyone found to be operating or working in an unregistered health facility should be arrested and prosecuted. Now to the rest of the stories. The Nigerian Copyright Commission, NCC, has urged broadcasters, streaming platforms, event organizers, and other commercial users of music to obtain the proper licenses from rights holders as part of efforts to curb the rising threat of digital piracy. NCC made the call in a statement to commemorate the 2025 World Intellectual Property Day with the theme IP and Music, Feel the Beat of IP. NCC spokesman Ijoma Egbunike said the commission stressed the urgent need to safeguard the rights of creators in the country's booming music sector, urging stronger enforcement of copyright laws and compliance among users of creative content. Egbunike lamented that many Nigerian musicians still earned little from their creative efforts due to rampant piracy, poor licensing practices, and weak enforcement of intellectual property laws. The Commission also announced plans to roll out a comprehensive anti-piracy campaign in collaboration with private sector stakeholders aimed at tackling both online and offline infringement. 7 days after the closure of the Akano Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, for repairs of its runway, the federal government has pledged to reopen the airport for flight operations. Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, Obiageli Ora, said in a statement that the operations will start from 28th of April 2025. Ora expressed Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria's appreciation to all airport users and stakeholders for their understanding and cooperation during the process. It will be recalled that the federal government had in 2019 approved the sum of 10 billion naira for the extension and rehabilitation of the airport runway. Now to foreign news. Uganda has officially declared the end of its latest Ebola outbreak 3 months after the first cases emerged in the capital, Kampala. The Ministry of Health announced the milestone via its official X account, calling it good news and confirming that 42 days had passed without new infections since the last patient was discharged. World Health Organization Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus applauded the Ugandan Health Ministry for its leadership and commitment to overcoming the outbreak. Ebola infections are frequent in Uganda, which has many tropical forests that are natural reservoirs for the virus. It is Uganda's 9th outbreak since the country recorded its first infection in year 2000. In our sport, the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has launched a crackdown on referees who may be involved in match fixing as the country's football leagues reach decisive stages. In an internal memo signed by the Secretary of the NFF Refereeing Development Committee, Mohammed Aminu, the Federation warned all referees in the Nigeria Premier Football League, Nigeria National League, Nigeria Women's Football League, and the Nationwide League One to uphold fairness and protect the reputation of the game. The NFF expressed fears that clubs, their regions, and other football stakeholders may attempt to influence referees in order to gain an unfair advantage. In response, the Federation said it has set up an independent monitoring committee to observe all matches and report any suspicious behavior. According to the NFF, the new monitoring committee will operate independently, with members deployed across all match centers to observe and report any action that go against the rules or damage the image of refereeing. And that ends our news at 10. Just before we go, ensure you make use of your seatbelt while driving. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered 600 women with ingenious business ideas to the tune of 4 billion naira through the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, W initiative to empower Lagosians. Can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. During the news, are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government is embarking on a significant transformation of its post-primary and technical education sectors, prioritizing meritocracy in leadership appointments and strategically recruiting qualified teachers in core subjects. The Nigerian Copyright Commission (NCC) has urged broadcasters, streaming platforms, event organizers, and other commercial users of music to obtain the proper licenses from rights holders as part of efforts to curb the rising threat of digital piracy. Also told you that Uganda has officially declared the end of its latest Ebola outbreak 3 months after the first cases emerged in the capital, Kampala. And in sports, the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has launched a crackdown on referees who may be involved in match fixing as the country's football leagues reach decisive stages. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Kayode Mafalashiri. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.